So I just wrote a blog post on the heart center, and the heart center in human design is called the ego center. It's a center about worthiness, power, will, and having a defined heart, ego center. I can't help but feel like, wow, I have been so afraid of my power. I have been so freaking afraid of the impact and of the places, the defined places in my chart, which is um, where I actually have the genius, where I actually have the power to make an impact in this world. So in human designs, you have some of the boxes when you get a human design chart, which are colored and some which are like white. The colored boxes are the ones where you are here to emit that frequency. So wherever I am defined, those are the energy centers which I am bringing something to the world. So I'm not influenced there from outside. Of course, there are always shadows which we have to decondition and shed, but there is a certain kind of genius and gift that I'm bringing here, which no one else has, which no one else is bringing. So it's something which is coming within me. It's something which my soul is transmitting. Okay, it's something like very, very, very unique. Um, Yet we are so conditioned to lean on to the understanding of other people, uh, the experiences, the trials, the wins, the victories of other people, that we can't help but diminish our light, dim our lights, and our geniuses and our gifts and our impact. So it's said in human design, you define centers or places where you'll often find your struggle of being too much. Yeah. uh, for me, it's like I feel too much in my heart center, which is like I have too many desires, and I have a defined sacral. So again, that's like another desire center, which is like you have too many dreams. Of course, that's why it's called Dream Life Lounge, right? And I'll also admit that when that word came in and started associating it with myself, my company, even though the decision to change the name was so powerful. But when I did that, I actually don't think I have made peace with it up until probably now, or I'm making of it now. It's been very triggering because so much of what I do is about manifestation, right? And I'm not talking about manifestation in terms of the ritual so much. I'm talking about manifestation in terms of making your dreams into reality through any medium that it might be. Yes, and that's something which has always been my theme. If you ever have spoken to me, you would always walk away with that sense of like everything is possible. I can get whatever I want, even when I was not doing what I'm doing right now. Like if you, even if you would have met me probably 10 years ago, you would always leave with that sense of infinite possibilities. Believe in your dreams. That's been like my core uh, theme uh, of believing in your visions and your dreams and going after them. That's what I have done so much of in my life as well. Uh, Now, believing in those dreams, like really believing in them, it's not like it's been a cakewalk because there has been a lot of conditioning around not owning my power, not owning my impact in the world from where I'm making an impact. I was not able to own that I do have it in me. Like I just wrote this blog post on the define. It's just like such a beautiful remembrance. Wow, I actually do, like, mechanically speaking, I have the strength and the fuel, the energy to actually make my dreams into a reality. So there has there's a lot of narrative which is like which of course has triggered me in my journey, going around being like, you're dreaming too much, your dreams are too big, or something like, learn to be happy with what you have, um, be satisfied where you are. And these are all beautiful things. You should celebrate where we are, but it's not very exciting for a defined sacral and defined heart, because there is always something more birthing in us. And this video is not about defined heart, but I'm speaking from my perspective. This video is about the defined centers, which actually what I mean to say is the places from which you make an impact. Like for me, my defined heart has been my gift. My defined sacral has been my gift. If you, as I said, if you would have ever met me, you would feel that sacred fire. You would feel that powers, that sense of power if you'd had a conversation, no matter where I've been in my journey, to motivate you always, to make you feel like you can have anything you want, you can do whatever the heck you want to do when you're in my auric field. uh, and yet, that's an energy which I have had so much resistance with. Why are we so afraid to own our power? Why are we so afraid to own our impact? In the last 2 days, two people have actually come up to me and told me about the impact that I have made in their life. And I'm like, wow, I really didn't know that. I didn't know I'm that powerful to make an impact. Even though I've been doing all this work, why am I sharing things online if I don't think that it's making an impact? Doesn't make sense, right? But we have a way, we have a conditioning to dim ourselves in our defined spaces, to dim ourselves in the places where we actually have the gifts, where we actually have the power, where we actually have a genius, something which we can lean on to make decisions, to make life choices, to choose what we want to go after, or to choose what's our truth. And instead of stepping and leaning more deeply into that space where we have the consistent access to energy, mechanically and energetically speaking, like literally in terms of like science, but we tend to feel shame and hide that space, and instead lean more into all the white spaces, the undefined spaces, where it's all the voices of other people, of other influences that we have gathered. Sure, there comes a lot of wisdom there, but that's kind of like a very on off energy. It'll keep on shifting depending on where you are, your environment, the people you're surrounded with, the relationships you have, the workplace that you are in currently. It'll keep on shifting and evolving with time. But your defined spaces are the places where you actually make impact, like the the who you really are. That's what it is. And yet we have so much shame and fear around it, because we have been told somewhere that it's not safe to be in our power. It's not safe to be in our genius. It's not okay, or we won't be loved, because as a tribal being, all we ever want did, because now we're experiencing a shift and we're going from tribal to individuality. We've always wanted is connections, acceptance, love, even if it means killing a part of us, which is super unique and powerful, because we wanted to survive in the tribe. So it doesn't matter if uh, if you really had the genius to be the leader, but you can't really say that uh, because otherwise you'd be persecuted in the tribe. But now it's not so true, right? And yet we're holding on to these fears. Yet we're holding on to all these places like, if I step into my power, if I step into my genius, if I step into, and if I really start making an impact from this place, because see, you make an impact, you don't make an impact, you are anyway making an impact. This is energy. When you are in a room and you are, say, a defined throat or a defined heart, or leave behind human design if you're not into it, whatever your genius is, like say, you make people feel a certain way. You may make people feel their emotions, right? I do. I have a very defined solar plexus emotional center. Now, I know about human design now, and maybe now I can manipulate my text sometime to make that happen. But I have anyway been doing it. Whenever I walk into rooms, whenever I walk into conversations, I make people feel. That's just how I am wired. That's just how It works, and now sometimes people can be like, wow, you make me feel this, and sometimes people are like, wow, I hate you, you make me feel this. Yes. And maybe a part of me has held on to those experiences where people have been like, wow, I hate you because you make me feel this, make me probably come to life to experience a lost sense, or just feel. Actually, I feel like we are experiencing a mutation in the solar plexus because we are here to feel. But I'm meant to make that impact. I'm meant to make you feel from that place so that you experience it, just in case if you are not able to experience it because you have an undefined space, you do have a completely open space. I'm bringing in that energy so that you can experience it. It's like borrowing that energy. But what happens is that most often than not, we tell ourselves stories that I should not make an impact from this place. And even though you will still be energetically making an impact, you try to block that energy. You try to suppress it. You try to dim it down. And what happens when you're trying to control fire, you're trying to control energy, it's gonna blast and it's gonna explode. And that's what's happening, I think, in relationships and connections and in everywhere actually. The more we are trying to suppress our power, the more it's exploding and the more it's causing chaos. So, how about we start unlearning the fact that it's safer to not be in my gift and my power and my impact and my genius, and start leaning towards actually, it's much more safer to own that one. Yes, I will make you feel alive. Yes, I will make you feel emotional, be it good emotions, bad emotions, whatever it is inside you, you're gonna feel it. Or, yes, I am going to give you that energy to express your truth, to voice your truth. And that's just my energy. That's just how it's always gonna be if you're gonna spend time with me. Now, can I run from it as much as I want to? But that's only gonna like just explore in just very undesirable and I feel like very uncomfortable ways, which I'm just seeing like it's just not worth it. It's so much safer for me to actually own this power, for me to actually own this genius and this impact. Like, yes, this is what I'm here to bring to the table. This is what I bring to the table. Um, it is just what it is. Because I am going to anyway bring it. That's my energy. I was coded to bring it when I was sent to this planet. You're meant to give people the voice. You're meant to make them feel. You're meant to uh, show them it's okay to slow down. It's okay to prioritize your desires. That we all come with certain codings. So, what will happen when we start actually stop being afraid of our impact? Because you're anyway making an impact. And start actually owning that impact. Like, oh, yes, I actually do make an impact. Oh, yes, I know actually I am impacting you right now. And so, how does it feel? It's like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I make you feel certain uncomfortable things, or I make you uh, think about your big dreams and your big desires. Sorry, we have to stop being apologetic about what we're bringing to the table, because this is what we were coded to bring, to make a shift, to to bring in something which was lacking. What will happen if you stop blocking that energy? A, it'll stop exploding in the wrong places, in the wrong ways. You'll stop being angry, disappointed, frustrated, whatever your not self is. And B, it'll give other people the energy that they sometimes need, the energy that they can borrow. Like when some people are in my vicinity, they can borrow my defined throat energy, and they can speak their truth. They can speak things which sometimes they can't otherwise. So when I am all of me, I give other people the permission to be them. How beautiful is that? What will happen if you start owning your impact? Yes, I freaking make an impact. Of course, I'm here to make an impact. It's just what I do, it's just what my mechanics are. There are places where I'm going to receive the impact of other people, there are certain places where I'm going to give that impact. So, how about we just release this idea of being too much and lean on to it's perfect. It's actually what the world needs. So, you know what? Yeah, this is who I am. It is what it is. Owning your power, and yes, it can be like, even when I'm speaking this right now, I'm like, oh my god, what if people think this? What if people think that? What if people don't love me if I say this? But deep inside, I know the truth that these are just fears. That I am most loved and accepted when I'm all of me. I am my best version when I'm all of me and not hiding it somewhere. So now the construction has begun again, and I'm gonna end this video. But thank you so much for being here, and really let me know in the comments below how you are owning your impact, how you're owning your genius and your gifts. What are the places where you feel like too much and you are gonna say to yourself, it's actually perfect. Let's see how can we show more of this, stand more of it in my power, and let's see what creates out of that. Like, let's stop blocking that energy, trying to suppress and, fit it into a box. Like, you're trying to fit a big energy in a small bottle. It's gonna overflow and explode. Stop doing that. So that's about it. I might actually make some video on definitions now on in my membership. If you want to be part of my membership, where we do a lot of this work around human design, deconditioning, inner child work, somatic work, then you can check out the link. And I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you soon, because right now my creativity is on fire, and I love that a little beautiful bird has come to visit me. So I'll see you soon. Take care.